You're watching West Hartford Community Television.
You're watching West Hartford Community Television.
For the community, by the community.
Hi, and thank you for joining this culinary cuvee-packed episode of Two Guys and a Lot of Wine. I'm Bobby P.
And I'm James Kimbrough. And we're joined tonight by India Di Cordova, who's the Associate Dean of Advancement at Manchester Community College. India, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
And you're here for a special reason tonight.
Yes, the college will be celebrating its 21st annual Evening of Fine Wines. It's a great event, fundraising event for scholarships and programs at MCC. What's beautiful about this event is that it takes the entire college to put it on, including our culinary arts department that prepares all of the food for the event. It's sponsored by Rockville Bank Foundation, so they've helped us out in terms of really raising funds and getting the word out about this event. Tickets are still on sale. It's a great opportunity for people to come out, enjoy wonderful food, wine, have a great time.
Now, how would people find tickets if they were interested in buying some?
Well, if they wanted to buy tickets, they can go onto our website, MCC, manchestercc.edu/wine. And also, they could also call 860-512-2922 for more information. The event's going to be held on Friday, April 26th at 7 o'clock, right at our college, Manchester Community College in Manchester.
And we'll have stuff on our Facebook page also
Yep.
promoting the event, so
Yes.
please look for that.
There will be lots of wine that evening.
Lots of wine.
And on top of the wine, deliciously prepared food like we're in a treat for tonight ourselves. So
Absolutely.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, so we're going to do some food-wine pairings tonight, and these are actually a couple of items that your students have prepared for us.
Yes, we have over 225 students that work to make this event a huge success in terms of providing state-of-the-art culinary cuisine for our guests. They prepare and they come up with the menu 3 months in advance, and they're constantly working to see what works best for that evening. So what we have tonight are just a few items that will be featured at the wine auction on the 26th.
These are just a few samples of
Just a
what's
few
gonna be
samples. We have over, I think, 200 different types of hors d'oeuvres, from desserts to raw shrimp to everything. So it's going to be a fabulous evening. Lots of great food, lots of great fun, and lots of wine.
Well, those students are going to be busy for making 200 different hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
And no worries for snowstorms that late in April, guys.
No.
So there'll be no excuse not to show up.
No excuse not to show up. So we hope everyone could come out. Again,
All
it's
right.
April 26th, our 21st annual Evening of Fine Wine, sponsored by the Rockville Bank Foundation. And it's a great time. It's a party with the cause. Most of the proceeds will fund scholarships and programs at the college.
All right, and Bob, you and I will be there.
I think so. I know you're busy and I'm busy, but I think we could have a way to squeeze that event in. I'm
I
pretty sure we
hope
can.
If
so.
there's wine there, I'm sure we'll make it.
I
Yeah,
hope
you're right.
so.
That's true.
That would be great.
Our nose just sniffs it out.
And you were kind enough to send us the recipes for these 3 items we're going to taste tonight. So
Yes.
Bob and I did a little wine pairing with these. So
Wonderful.
we'll see how this works out. Bob and I haven't tried the wines with the food yet, so
Okay.
we're kind of excited to see how this all works
I
together.
am too.
As it always, we have 3 wines that I don't think neither one of us or any of us have tasted tonight.
Okay, great.
But the
have
varietals
had,
are the same.
I've had the Pinot Noir.
Oh, you
I
have?
just want to
Okay,
give
good.
fair warning. I've had that once before and thought it would be great for the show, so I brought it on tonight. But
Wonderful.
Excellent.
we're going to start off with the Riesling.
We are going to
This is
start off
one
with the
of your
Riesling,
selections.
and I did a little research on this one, and I do have some Rieslings in my stock, but not a lot. This particular Riesling is from Oregon. The creator is Ryan Harms. He grew up actually in the Finger Lakes region of New York, which, as you know, or if you don't know, is a really big producer of Rieslings in general. So he took his love of Rieslings to Oregon, and this is a very highly rated Riesling. I'm very curious to see how it's going to pair with some of the food this evening. It's sort of a dry but yet full-bodied Riesling. So let's
right,
take
let's
our
give it a
first
shot.
sip.
Okay, I'm going to follow your lead.
Now, a lot of Rieslings get very sweet. Well, a lot of people don't drink them here in the United States. They've got a bad reputation. But
That's sweet, but not too sweet, I don't
I
think.
like it.
that is good.
That's
good.
very
It's
good.
got a little kind of a honey taste to it.
It sure does.
Can I take another sip?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny because they sort of said it had sort of a cinnamon,
really good.
pear, green apple taste to it, but I do taste a little bit of honey in there, not so much cinnamon.
Yeah, I don't get the cinnamon at all, but I do get some of the pear, which I really enjoy. You don't find pear very often in a wine, but this is surprising.
I've heard a lot of good things about Oregon wines in general, so from the first sip or the second sip for you,
Yeah.
I hear good
very
things
good.
and I'm tasting good things. So
Very
it's
good.
exciting this tonight. So what are we going to be pairing now?
All right, we're going to pair this with endive and goat cheese.
Pass this
Pass that to
over.
Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this has a honey glazed walnut as well as port wine reduction on top.
Wonderful. And again, these were all prepared by our culinary arts student, Leanne, who's here.
All right.
Thank you,
Meet her
Leanne.
later.
It looks delicious.
Really good.
All the elements come right out. Could taste each individual ingredient. Very nice.
And so many different textures too. There's you get the crunchy nut and the kind of creamy cheese.
Yeah,
Playing with each other.
I love the crunch and the creaminess of a little hors d'oeuvre appetizer like that. It's really nice. So here's the test right here.
Now this is why you and I chose a Riesling.
Yep.
That blended really nicely.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
And it tastes completely different from when you first tasted it. Rieslings actually have a very high acid content, and a lot of people don't think this because it's such a sweet wine. Acid is your friend when you're drinking wine and trying to pair it with foods. It kind of clarifies the flavors in the food. It's kind of like salt. You know,
Okay.
when you salt food, that kind of brings the flavors of the food out. Acid in the wine does the same thing. And that's why Riesling makes such a great pair for a lot of different foods, and it worked out so well with this one.
Do you think it's because it had the goat cheese in there as well?
That certainly helps. Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
really good. Very good.
Cheese in general is going to pair, a certain type of cheese will pair well with a Riesling. And this is an example of a cheese that does pair very well with a Riesling.
Yeah. And you and I, we strayed more towards a Riesling because the endive is a little bit bitter. And so that, you go with the sweet from the honey glazed walnuts and the figs, and then contrast that with the endive, which is going to be a little bitter. That gets kind of complex. So we thought a Riesling would be the way to go, and
It was
it worked
perfect.
out.
Perfect.
What's also good is another example, you could have a deliciously prepared hors d'oeuvre like that and pair it with a moderately priced Riesling. That particular Riesling is under $15 usually. You can probably find it in about that price point. And as you know, Rieslings can be very expensive or very cheap.
Yeah.
And I think this is usually an 89 pointer from Wine Enthusiast. So I definitely would agree with that as of right now. And,
I can see how that got 89 points. That's a great Riesling.
and we're actually drinking this a little warmer than we should. It's
Yeah.
been sitting, for 40 minutes on the
Yeah.
table, and it still drinks very well.
Perfect.
All right, next up, we're going to try a Pinot Noir. Now, this is one I found just a week ago, so it's not something I've served on a regular basis, but I fell in love with it almost immediately. So I brought it on the show tonight. This is, actually, I did a little research after I bought it and found out it was rated in the top 100 by Wine Enthusiast. Came in number 18 on their top 100 list. And it's under $15 also.
Wow.
It's in the $10 to $15 range. Some people online claim they can even get it under $10. So it's a great value. And let's give it a shot.
Nice little
I'm
bouquet
sorry,
there.
I skipped the smelling part.
Oh, you don't have to.
All right.
There's no rules.
That was good.
You taste a lot of cherry when you get this wine in your mouth. And this is supposed to have some cinnamon in it also, and again, I'm not getting the cinnamon component,
It's a very light wine,
but
very light. There's not like a bold bash creaminess to my palate when I drank that, right? It's more of a
No.
smooth.
There's like not an aftertaste, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, it just fades
You're
away.
right. It's good.
Which I guess is good because we'll be pairing that with what type of...
We're going to pair this with the phyllo tartlets. Let me pass these around.
Okay. Oops.
Oh, that's going to roll right off of there.
Thank you.
And the
Now this
feel-
is chicken and pesto, as well as some sun-dried tomatoes and Kalamata olives. So there's a lot going on in this item also. again, which would kind of confuse some people if they're trying to do a pairing.
Oh my,
This is really good.
very good.
Our culinary arts students at MCC knock it out the park as usual.
That
Very
is
good.
phenomenal.
Elegant, but packs a wallop. It really does. You got a lot going
does.
on there.
And I have a little bit left, sorry. Okay.
And the natural inclination for a lot of people would be, oh, it's chicken. I've got to pair that with a white wine. And that's not always true. Chicken and shrimp actually act as kind of a blank palate. And we're going to try shrimp next. And they kind of take on whatever flavors are in the recipe. So with this, you really don't have to worry about the chicken so much as what else is in this when you're doing a pairing. So what we were concerned with was the Kalamata olives and the sun-dried tomatoes. The tomatoes are going to have a lot of acidity, and the Kalamata olives have a bite to them as well. So we instead of going with a white, Bob and I decided let's get a little daring and try a Pinot Noir.
Take
And
a
I
risk.
cheated ahead of you guys. Let me just say that was a phenomenal pairing. Again, that was really nice. With the, you probably still have some of the food in your mouth.
I
but
do.
Not only does that clean it, it just gives you a whole different flavor.
Yeah, and the berry component of this really just jumps out now.
Sure
Very
does.
good. Very good. That was a good pairing. Very good.
Actually, I think for your event, I think it's going to be an Italian and French evening, isn't it?
It is Italian and French evening. So again, we're going to have a variety of different types of wine that evening. We have wine distributors from across the state come in, actually across our region, come in, and it's a wine tasting evening. So it'll be a perfect time for you to pair the food with the wine. And some of the items that we're featuring tonight will be there as well. So this is good.
This is great for people or novices that are watching the show to watch a show like this and learn how to pair different types of, especially if you're throwing parties for the holidays, what you want to pair
Right.
for the situation, because both these work phenomenal with the first two little tidbits we just eaten.
Or even taking a risk, like you said. So the chicken,
Right.
not necessarily have to go with the white wine. But
Exactly.
the Pinot Noir was a perfect combination. So that was good.
All right. Well, our last wine is a
Okay.
Chardonnay.
And actually, Jim, before we can have the last wine,
You're going to have
we
to
must
finish.
all finish our white wine.
Okay.
So
Is that the rule?
Well, I'm going to drink a little faster than the two of you, so I'm going to go ahead and pour.
I like this wine. This is the Riesling.
actually, I'll give you another glass.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have
'cause
to
I'm not good
don't worry about it.
We don't want our guests chugging on the show.
in one setting. Thank you.
Now, Bob, you have not tried the Chardonnay yet.
No, I actually bought this yesterday in anticipation for the show. And I wanted to do a
I'm
Chilean
going to try one of these crackers.
Chardonnay, because in general, I think some of the shows we've done in the past, especially on South American wines, I've liked.
Yeah.
So I thought a Chardonnay from especially from Chile, might be something that might pair very well with my palate and the food we're going to have tonight.
And to give fair warning, Bob and I don't drink a lot of Chardonnay, so this is
We
something
don't.
new for us.
It's another one that claimed you're sort of going to get a pear and green apple. It's a dry, sort of a dry Chardonnay. So let's see if that's the case.
Got a lot of minerality on the nose.
Yeah, that's not a buttery Chardonnay at all.
No,
It's pretty dry.
very easy drinking. Doesn't really jump out at you though. It's got a lingering finish though. I like this.
It is a 100% Chardonnay, by the way. I don't know if I've said that before, but there's no blend here. It's 100% Chardonnay grape.
Are there a lot of blends for Chardonnay?
Not so much blends, but there's different, depending on where the grapes are grown and what
Okay.
country they're from.
Yeah.
So 100% Chardonnay from Chile is going to taste completely different than a 100% Chardonnay from either California
Okay.
Or France.
Or
For
France.
that matter, yeah. Yeah, then this is, Bob, throw out your favorite word.
Terroir.
Yes, the terroir makes a difference. So you're going to pick up a lot of elements from the soil that the wine is grown in, the grapes are grown in.
Very good.
So, and we're going to pair this with shrimp boucher. This is shrimp with tarragon and a little Dijon mustard.
Jim, I have to say, shrimp boucher with Chardonnay just goes very well.
Sounds very nice.
And there's some chopped tomatoes in this also. So again, this is a very complex dish that we're sampling. Bob and I chose a Chardonnay specifically because of the Dijon mustard. This is going to be such a strong, overpowering flavor and I wanted a big, bold wine to hold up to this.
Okay.
And Chardonnays can be very big and bold, even though it's the white. It's the, the kind of the king of the whites, if you will. It's the top of the white spectrum. If you look at Pinot Grigio to Sauvignon Blanc all the way up to Chardonnay, Chardonnay is right there at the top.
Okay, good.
So
Actually, I hope my bias of trying to find a Chardonnay that was on the moderate side doesn't affect this tasting. We should find out. A buttery Chardonnay might have been the way to go with this little bite.
well, it's got a lot of body, so let's see how this goes.
Very subtle in flavor. Very subtle.
That's a good pairing. I think you're 3 for 3. This is
Well, the
good.
Boucher surprised me. I taste a lot of tarragon and not a whole lot of Dijon.
Yeah, I didn't taste a lot of Dijon either.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
if I was going to pair with tarragon, maybe we would have gone in a different direction. But this did work, so we got lucky.
I think, yeah, 3 for 3, in my opinion.
You're right. I mean, this isn't my favorite pairing of the evening, but it still is characteristically different with the food than just drinking the Chardonnay on its own. And actually, we might even want to try eating one of those hors d'oeuvres as a characteristically to offset what it shouldn't taste like maybe eating the endive with the Chardonnay and seeing how that tastes.
All right, let's give that a shot.
Just to give people an example of how it
You know
could
what? I'm
taste.
going to let you reach and grab it. I've run out of napkins.
You run on napkins, okay.
Oh, look at that. India's going to pass for
Yeah,
you.
I'll
I will
pass.
give you yours
Would
too.
you like to try it too?
Yes, thank you.
Are you going to go for it again too?
I am.
Okay.
Why not?
Now, those of you watching at home might be scratching your head right now and saying,
What are we doing?
Jim and Bob drank the wines out of order. We started off with the Riesling and then moved to the Pinot Noir and then went back to a white and had a Chardonnay. And I did that in part because of the food we were eating and the order that we put those in. But also, a Pinot Noir is kind of a light red. If you're looking at the red wine spectrum, that's going to be at the very far end.
Okay.
And then the big cabs and the red Zinfandels are going to be on the other end. So it's the red that drinks like a white, as just like the Chardonnay is a white that drinks like a red. So you can kind of switch those in a sampling order if you need to.
So what do you think is going to pair not as well with this out of the three wines? Just to give a contrast. The red?
Probably the red, yeah.
So let's try a bite and taste the red and see how that goes. Mostly I did this again because I wanted that. So. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
That doesn't
good.
go at all.
Not at
No.
all. I think it had to do with the figs. Was it that?
Yeah. There's a lot of sweet fig
Yeah, it was,
left in the mouth.
Yeah, it was
and the wine's
too
gone.
much.
I'm glad we did that because it's another example of, we talk about this in past shows about eating and drinking, but to actually be able to eat something and drink the wrong wine with it
Right.
is so pronouncedly blah that
Right.
Right.
You lose so much of the characteristic of a delicious appetizer like that by drinking the wrong wine. So you've learned something tonight.
Right.
Now, I do want to remind you of my first rule of thumb, though, which is drink what you like. So if you like Chardonnays,
Drink it.
drink it.
I like
If you
Rieslings.
And is
And
this
that was a good one.
Have you had a lot of Rieslings in the past?
Yeah, I have, but I've never tried this one, and that one was really good. Very, very good.
It is available locally in the area. I mean, you can, if you can't find it in the store, you can just look online and see where you can find it locally in whatever store is convenient to where you live. But I'm very impressed with most Oregon wines, because especially the grapes in this big one, they're grown in a very cool environment, and I know that has a lot to do with the characteristics of the grape also.
Very good.
But actually, I'm going to go back to a little bit more of that Riesling before the end of the show, because
I do too. It's really good.
Well, we actually have time for the dessert tray. I didn't think
Okay.
we were
yes,
going
we
to get
do.
to this.
And this, I'm not sure what to pair with.
I'm going to say go with the Riesling.
The Riesling it
Yes.
is.
Because it's like,
Yeah, it's.
India, do you remember which one was your Riesling?
I don't. But we'll smell it and try to
could give
figure
you,
it out.
No, you don't even have to smell it. If you tore the glass, whatever one sticks to the glass more is the Riesling. There it is
That
right
one.
there.
There you
Yep.
go.
Now, if you remember back to our Valentine's show from a year ago, we were doing wine and chocolate pairings. And the rule was you want the wine to be sweeter than the chocolate you're eating.
Yep.
So that's why I'm going to go with the Riesling here.
Do you need some more?
Hopefully it's.
Is that the Chardonnay there?
I have the Chardonnay. But I'll take some Riesling.
Wow. And while we're pouring, I just want to remind everyone about our event that's
Yes,
coming
please,
up.
go ahead.
April 26th, our Evening of Fine Wines. So everyone will get an opportunity to do exactly what we're doing now, trying great wine with great food, and I hope a lot of people can come out and support it. It's going to fundraise for scholarships at MCC. So
All right.
just wanted to plug that again.
Oh, you can plug that as much as you want, because we'll be doing the same thing. So what do you think we should go with here?
We have a selection here.
Oh my gosh.
They were pointed out to me before the show, and I know there's a raspberry-filled chocolate.
There is. There's raspberry ganache,
There's a petit four.
salted caramel. There's a variety of things here.
You know, I'm a sucker for the caramel.
Okay.
Go
So
for
I'm going to
it.
go with the caramel for myself.
I think that's a fruit petit four.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
there's a caramel right there.
Yeah.
Nice and delicate.
I will actually try the fruit petit four.
Okay. And I'm going to try one of the raspberry ganache. Put this back here. Okay. I wasn't
that's good.
expecting that.
And the students made all these.
The students made everything,
Those look incredible.
and they're delicious. And they're heaven. They just melted in my mouth.
It is.
I'm taking the rest of those home.
You can. Your fiance will love them. This goes really well with it, in my opinion.
Yeah, with the caramel, the Riesling does pair very well.
Yeah.
It's a mild caramel anyways. It's not like one of the ones you would buy in a store. It's much more subtle in its character profile.
And it works well with the fruit petit four, too. I'm getting a very strong acidic bite in my mouth right now at the finish, which I love. This is, it completely changes what I was eating earlier.
And I should also say, I know I said the price point in the Riesling. The Chardonnay we had tonight was a little bit higher. I think it's between $15, $13 generally.
Okay.
Which I think is a fair price for a Chardonnay that has that profile, because that's my profile for a Chardonnay. It might not be everybody's though.
So we got everything under $15 tonight.
Yes,
Great.
everything is
All
under
right.
$15 tonight. You know, we like to try to do that as much as possible. You know, sometimes we deviate into the higher price point, and tonight it worked out perfectly.
All right, well, India, you have brought a student with you tonight.
I did. Leanne, can you come up?
Introduce Leanne?
Come on in.
Leanne did a fabulous job of preparing all these hors d'oeuvres, as well as our professor, Kathy, who's sitting in the background, but she doesn't want to come up yet. So, do you want to talk about a little bit about what you did?
Yes, please.
In terms of
Sure.
preparing?
Everything we do at MCC, we try to do as much homemade as possible, and we work really hard to also try and find things seasonal. It is a little hard in our area, but we did make the pesto ourselves. It's hard to, and I did form all the canals on the endive. That was
They're delicious.
I think that's one of our favorites.
fun. Yeah, that one is good.
It packs the most wallop, yeah.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm very, very excited about our event this year. Last year I was just an apprentice, and I was working with other students and kind of watching, and I was there. It was a very long day. This year I get to be in charge, and we will be making 16 different types of hors d'oeuvres, and we'll be making at least 200 to 300 of each. So it's going to be
So
quite the production.
I got the back.
Okay.
I got it backwards.
That would be a little easier.
Yes.
then,
So that'll be the task of the night, is getting all the tray service stuff out, and that's so much fun. It's fast paced, but we have a
great.
blast, and the students are great. The different levels of students too. We have 101 students to our advanced students, so they all get in there and get their hands dirty. And
And
Have a
what,
good
phase,
time.
what phase are you at during this whole education process?
I'm towards the end of my culinary arts degree, but I do have about another year. I'm going for a couple of different degrees, so it's taking me a little longer.
She's
but
an ambitious student.
Yes.
But it's great because what's unique about our event is that the students pretty much help to put it on. Whereas most events, you may go to a banquet hall and you have the professional chefs back there cooking. We have our students who are actually learning but also working and preparing beautiful, delicious items for our evening. So, and then all the funds that we raise go right back to our students. So it's a great event, and I hope a lot of people can come out and support it.
Now, when people come to the event, will they be able to meet the students that evening?
Absolutely. We have students passing hors d'oeuvres, we have students serving, we have students cooking, managing the other wait staff, which Leanne will be doing that night.
I'm in charge of the food portion. We do have another person that's managing all of the students that will come to me to get the food.
Okay.
And then they go out.
So it's very organized.
Yes.
I'm sure lots of people will be pestering you all night for recipes. So.
I've always been curious about the tasting. Obviously, a lot of our viewers, myself as one of them, watch a lot of the cooking shows. The tasting, you're always constantly tasting the stuff as you're making it. How do you keep your palate fresh when you're doing so much tasting? Is there a way, is there a secret to that?
I drink a lot of water throughout
Water,
the day.
that's what I figured.
But and we don't take a huge spoonful. I mean, you're tasting little bit by little bit. I mean, with the chicken pesto actually today, at first we were tasting it, we're like, something's not there. What's not there? Needed a little bit more salt. That's all it was. But
It's always the salt, yeah, it's always the salt.
So that was good because the pesto. We're like, we're tasting the pesto. It's there. But
Something was missing.
yep.
Good.
Well, it turned out fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leanne.
Thank you.
Thank you. So do you want to go back to one more proper tasting of something? Should we try maybe the chicken or the shrimp really quick with anything? Or do you want to talk a little bit more about the event since we're almost at the end of the show?
Okay, well, the event again is in our 21st year. So we've been doing this for 21 years. Again, our sponsors are Rockville Bank Foundation. We partner with Highland Park Market, HPC, who help to provide a lot of the food that we'll be serving that night. And again, the Manchester Community College Foundation is the one that pretty much leads up this event. But it's an event that we've been working on for years. All year we work on this event. And again, with all the cuts that are happening with our state budget, funds help to make us do what we do best for our students. So this event is just one of the many things that we do to really fill in the gap. So again, the event is our Evening of Fine Wines. You can learn more about it by visiting our website, manchestercc.edu/wine. Tickets are still for sale. And again, the event's on Friday, April 26th at 7 o'clock.
And once again, we'll put stuff up on our Facebook page and certainly plug the event. Because,
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
anything with wine and food,
You have to
We're
be
there.
there. This was so much fun. I love your show.
Well, it's funny because we've done, this is only our second real food show. The last
Yeah.
one was really the Valentine one, correct? And
right.
we
Yes,
have
it is.
not had any major mishaps.
Yay.
So this might be something we will continue, though I don't think we'll ever try to cook on the
No,
actual show.
no
'cause
cooking. We know our boundaries.
We do know our boundaries, yes. The little gas top grill is probably just a liability and major lawsuit ready to happen. So,
So I just wanted to remind everyone in the audience, please friend us on Facebook. If you have a question for Bob or myself or for the show in general, you can send us a message through Facebook. You can also watch previous episodes of this show on WHCTV.org or on YouTube.com.
yes, and please do not hesitate to give us comments because we're always looking for feedback. We love getting different ideas for different show topics, though we're pretty booked up all the way into summer right now, but we'll take you into consideration. So thanks for joining us tonight. Thank my guests for joining us tonight.
you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And until next time, I'm Bobby P.
And I'm James Kimbrough.
And keep us in
Your wine cellar.